What's up, guys? It's your usual host from Host, and I want to talk about one trial from one specific franchise that only like the cult classics can know. You all know what it is. Everyone talks about it once in a while, or makes a reference to it, or you've been to that Reddit. You kind of been cursed and blessed at the same time. Danganronpa, more specifically, Super Danganronpa 2: Goodbye Despair. And the trial I'm talking about, the most controversial one. Not in terms of anything bad per se, but more of the plot holes and game development and other future thoughts about it. Game 2, Case 3, Trapped by the Ocean Scent. And why do I like it? Because if you see my tier list video, I did put that, if I remember correctly, in the A/S tier as one of my top trials. And not because I was just trolling or I didn't play the games, therefore I'm a bad Danganronpa YouTuber. You know, it's not like that. I played the games, all of them at this point. I watched all the animes, even that travesty you call Danganronpa the animation. I watched it all, like a champ. But I like Game 2, Case 3. Not because, oh, everyone hates it, therefore I like it, kind of weird reversal mind thing. No, I enjoy it because I like the leaps in logic it has. I like the fact that it makes no sense. I know everyone wants to find and have any sense of stability in a Danganronpa game, but let's be honest, you come into Danganronpa with the expectations that everything's gonna be sound and make sense. But literally, the whole freaking premise of the three mainline games are just headmaster of a talking doll, bear specifically, Monokuma, traps 16 ultimate students in a world where apparently you could just be an ultimate at anything. Call me the ultimate crack smoker, the ultimate redditor, the ultimate Discord mod. As a talent, we'll probably fund you and you become the best ultimate thingy. So it's already kind of a little loose in terms of realism. But when it comes to Danganronpa 2, since it's, spoiler alert, is in the whole, SAO nerve gear deep dive, I kind of like the thought that it could kind of just stretch its murders and executions out a little bit more. It's not grounded within like Danganronpa 1, where it's just kind of like, oh, we're trapped in a school, better pick up the scissors from the art class and get the shank in someone's throat, It's not like V3 where it's just kind of like it wants to be realism, but then they got all that weird like just cult classic and anime crap, and it's like, oh yeah, you tell me this freaking scroll's gonna open up a new location in Bumblefuck nowhere middle of. But I like it because, well, first off, let me discuss why I think people are kind of being weird with it. I think two of the main points are, one, Hiyoko, well, there's like a lot of points, but the ones that I noticed the most that stick out are, one, Hiyoko shouldn't have died in that chapter, given because back in chapter 2, C in Punishment, Sins, and Coconuts, her friend Mahiru got killed by Pekoyama, the ultimate sportswoman, and people thought that chapter 3 and beyond would have been her redemption arc from being a snob, no little, goblin to actually being a character. But ironically, the same woman, Pekoyama, got executed, and that was her, and that was, Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu's lifelong partner, friend, and potential lover. So they're kind of stuck in the middle in terms of who gets the redemption arc. Because prior to that, Fuyuhiko has been nothing more than just an asshole. He treated everyone like garbage. He had this cold, tough demeanor. If he wasn't with Pekoyama, he was probably with himself. And that's at 9 times out of 10, he was Pekoyama. So it was just kind of like, who deserves it more? The shit talker redditor known as Hiyoko Sayonji, or just I probably did make the cut for Yakuza 6, Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu. And as you may know, if you played the games, it went to Fuyuhiko, and the one who died was Hiyoko. But that's what the problem stems from. Hiyoko dying has led a lot of sour tastes in people's mouths, mainly because since Hiyoko is dead, she couldn't get that whole redemption arc that she was supposed to have, and leaving Fuyuhiko alive only just dampers it. And they said that it would have been a lot different if Hiyoko was still alive and Fuyuhiko would have died. Ironically, thus negating Pekoyama's whole thing of not getting Fuyuhiko executed and trying to get him off the island. But I guess screw that arc, you know. But I can't personally see Hiyoko doing anything more later on in the chapters beyond not being a complete bitch. I know that she's not like that because we told the stories. She just kind of had to be in her life and shit. But it's just like I don't see Hiyoko offering much to the table. Fuyuhiko is giving me more, and he lost his pretty much forever wife. You know, it's just like people will have like whole YouTube videos talking about Hiyoko should have been one to live, and Fuyuhiko should have died. But I could just see the in between. No matter how many times you slice it, one of them has to die, or it's just not gonna make sense. The only remedy I have for this, and I was gonna reveal this later with Ibuki, was gonna be Sonya, because let's be honest, guys, and everyone noticed this, but what the hell does Sonya even do in the later stories? Beyond being a Gundam simp and just being Sonya, who literally came from bumblefuck nowhere middle of, Sonya has not done a lot. She has done more in her hentai dojins than she does in the actual game. I wouldn't mind having her die in chapter 3 and being replaced with, like, say, replacing Hiyoko. Cause at least then, hell, I mean, honestly, I want Sonya to die in chapter 1 and leave Teruteru alive. Believe it or not, Teruteru is my favorite character. Fight me on that. I defy you to tell me wrong. But I think Sonya could have died in chapter 3 because it's as if the writers didn't really have much for her beyond being a Novoselic princess in some backwards nowhere country, you know? And that could have been Hiyoko's slot, and her and Fuyuhiko could have slowly grown to be more closer with a bond. The fact that they lost both their close friends. No, I'm not acknowledging that My Hero and Hiyoko could possibly had a lesbian shipping. I will never acknowledge it. Just like Bumblebee, if it has no substance, if it has no prior knowledge, or this is not going to tell me straight up, I will not acknowledge it. Don't think wrong of me. Don't think of it as just, oh, I'm being homophobic or nothing. I'm a man of substance. Like, say, if Ruby and Weiss get together from Ruby. You know, side thing after all. At least they'll be understandable. They have some moments together. But if you tell me they just got together off screen with no substance like Bumblebee, come on, I'm not impressed. So I'm not gonna just say that Hiyoko and My Hero have been like, oh yeah, we were just lovers. I don't even think she even acknowledged her friend who got killed, who killed Fuyuhiko's sister for her. I mean, come on. We all know what happened to her. She went to gulags in Warzone. But back to the seriousness. I could have seen those two growing closer, respecting the loss of both their friends, their dearly departed, and actually growing closer to understand each other and seeing their viewpoints with it. Because I don't want to believe that the rest of the game is going to just hate each other because Fuyuhiko hates Hiyoko. We're getting Peko killed and Peko hating, not Peko, Hiyoko hating Fuyuhiko for getting Mairi killed. You know, I can't see that. I want to see them get together and be friends. Not friends, but at least understanding one's pain. Kind of like Neo and... No, I'm too deep in the Ruby stuff. Forget that. Forget it! But turning it back around, the main loss we have here is Ibuki. Mainly because I think she suffered the fate of, say, Sonya, in the terms of she has nothing to offer anymore, therefore she had to die in chapter 3. Because Ibuki was just the ultimate musician who played music that sounded like it was OD. And it was just like, oh no, Ibuki has no other qualities beyond just being the quirky, raw X3 girl. And and that would kind of disrupt the tone for the rest of the game. So understandably, she had to die. But I can still see how much that's a waste because it's just like she still has so much potential. I get it. I've been playing Danganronpa and been the fandom for years. I know every game that anyone could have took the slot and died earlier or later or didn't die at all. I pretty much made a whole spreadsheet at this point. But Ibuki dying still has to fit because no one else could took that plunge. I mean, sure, you could weasel your way and say Sonya could die and been the only one that died, but that won't gear to the final solution, not the solution, but the problematic problem I have with it, you know? But, well, I mean, honestly, we'll just cut the shit now and go to the actual thing, which is the main problem, Mikan Tsuniki, the ultimate nurse. You know, the girl who's like a walking fan service episode. Like every step she makes is gonna be she's basically Tatsumaki from Fire Force. You watch Fire Force? You seen her? The cat girl with the fire? Nya. Every step she's one close from being. We're making that anime to a not safe for work, the hub episode. Yeah, that's her. That's Mikan. But just shittier low self-esteem and actual self-worth and emotional issues and a lot of other things. Sheesh. And I thought people at Arkham Asylum were better than... I'm just kidding. I made the jokes. Anyway, with Mikan, what baffles me is... it's a lot of things. Mainly because it's just... I like her. I can waifu her up. Mainly because I just like the feeling of fixing someone who's broken. Maybe it's going with my weird savior hero complex that I kinda don't have, but people kinda point out that I do have. The urge to kinda save everybody and save everything to the detriment of myself and others. And Mikan is always awakening that prime example of, I want to help this girl. I want to give her a better life than she has now. I want to show her that life isn't just for kicks and everyone treats her like dirt. She don't gotta demean and degrade herself and lower her self-worth in everyone else's eyes to make sure that they will still be her friends. I want to help that, you know? Because I know that's like, believe me. But that's not the point. The point will kind of be as Mikan's motivation, you know? I know in the game it was just like, oh yeah, I'm doing it for the one I love. Which, you know, before Danganronpa 3, I thought it was gonna be Junko, because, you know, Runners of Despair, Junko kind of just mind fucks just about everybody. Mind fucks and possibly literally fucks, who knows. But then after watching Danganronpa 3, I was just like, oh, maybe Midori and not Junko. You know, Danganronpa 3, Despair arc, Midori, the ultimate animator. Oh my goodness, that man just screams otaku energy. But, you know, lo and behold, it was still just Junko. But regardless, I think the motivation to me was dumb. I wish that the despair disease, which was the reason why Mikan committed the murders in chapter 3, just know it's still a dumb thing, because it's just like, despair disease? What's next? Sorry. Delta virus? But I wish Mikan could have got affected by the despair disease, you know, still keeping that intact as a route A possibility, but not making her be like, oh, I remember everything, oh, I have all my memories, but give her the aggressive type, like reverse her weakness for timid, vitriolic behavior, have her have hatred towards somebody who tormented her, and, you know, in her eyes it was Hiyoko, the one person who's done nothing but belittle her and pretty much remind her how little her life was worth, even though Hiyoko was doing it just to kind of build her self-esteem up, you know, which is, I guess, one way to do it. But for Mikan, to her, she was just being a bitch because she was being a bitch, because she thought it was lowly garbage, you know. And bada bing, bada boom, you can have Mikan kill Hiyoko, or in this case Sonya, if I don't just directly target Hiyoko. Cause I want to work on that right quick. Cause with that one, I know I have no good transitions with this, but when it comes to that murder, let's say that Hiyoko was gonna meet Sonya at the Titty Typhoon, which is that super dance bar club thing, and Hiyoko is running late. But have Mikan go there to go instantly kill Hiyoko because she heard out about it. But when she didn't see Hiyoko, you know what? Scratch that. I'm not taking that out the recording, but scratch that. That needs a lot more working on. But the point is, whether we still have Sonya as a double murder or not, as irrelevant at this point. But for now, at least. But her target should have been Hiyoko. I wouldn't mind Mikan just slicing the throat of Hiyoko and just being like, I finally got my vengeance on her. I did it. The person who tormented me for this long can now grovel and be dead. And you can have Hajime and them be like, well, she wasn't doing that on purpose. She was trying to build your confidence up so you can stop being such a fucking limp dick. And she's like, oh, damn, I didn't mean to. And she's like, I killed the only person who truly cared about me, even though it was in the most toxic way possible. But if I was gonna go and make this a double murder, I wouldn't mind having Sonya being there, probably seeing Mikan committing the murder in person like this, or probably fill the shoes of Hiyoko in terms of at the wrong place at the wrong times, and not just for Group B. But if we still play our cards right and still keep Sonya alive, she could her and Ibuki could be a double murder in Chapter 4. Since in this retcon, Ibuki is still alive, it's just that Hiyoko has died because Mikan has personally targeted Hiyoko. And I know that won't make a lot of people happy in the sense of Hiyoko is still dead and Fuyuhiko still lives. Because like I said, there's no possible way to slice it and still be like, yeah, both of you guys are still going to be alive for anything. But I know I previously said that it would have been better if it was per se Sonya. And I'm gonna finally work on that. It might turn out Ibuki Sonya. The question is, well, why would this fantasy take out Sonya? I just can't say that this fantasy is meant to make Mikan just blind aggression and Sonya just happened to be at the wrong place for a long time and therefore she died. That's the hard part about making motivation. You gotta have some reasonable motivation. You just can't say, oh, in Danganronpa 1, Byakuya just shanks the hell out of Asahina because Asahina has better smooth skin than he does. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, why though? What's the motive? Lotion? Want some of that Olay? You know? Believe me, I had this video in my mind for a while now, ever since the whole thing about the tier list. I know this is not coming out as 100%, it's like, you opened my third mind's eye. But I had to speak on it. I had to talk about why I like this thing. And I cannot stress how much I like it, because I can't really put too much into it. Despite doing everything Danganronpa, I can't put it into words on recording that this game is worth playing, these chapters are my favorite. I think the real motive of why I like it so much is because it's just the million ways how I could change it. Who could have died? Who could have lived? Who Mikan could have targeted? Who could have not been the murderer? I could have just said that, oh, instead of Mikan, why not Ibuki be the murderer and have her kill Hiyoko or something? You know? Make it, do like the freaking Kokichi and Gonta thing where Kokichi just speech checked 100 Gonta into killing Miyu. But have Mikan do that. Speech check Ibuki, who was under the spirit disease, to make her more gullible, lure Hiyoko to the sea typhoon, kill her, and then when it wears off, bada bing, bada boom, you know, Ibuki killed someone, therefore she was executed, and Mikan could still be in the game. Still giving out autopsies, and the fact that they're like, oh my goodness, it's fair to see Mikan just 100% finessed and killed off 2 people. Kind of like the Celeste thing from Danganronpa 1 is Celeste and open her dumbass mouth. I mean, come on. Celeste could have literally just played her Fumi to kill Ishimura and then turned around and then sell his ass out. She wouldn't get executed because she did the murder herself. She tricked someone else in doing the murder. I know it'll be a lot harder to have people trust her, especially, doing that. But let's be honest. Would you rather be alive, or would you rather just finesse 2 people out of surviving a killing game? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting, more behind in myself. I mean, what else to say about Danganronpa 3 in Game 2, Case 3? What else is more with a part beyond just, clumsy prone nurse of fan service kills music girl and sliced the throat of one of the characters who deserved to be redeemed but couldn't because Fujiko was still alive. And I like Trial because I like how it's just so complicated, but yet people have pretty much whittled it down to this bare bullet points of being inconsistent, being very nonsensical, therefore it's bad Trial. I like it because it's that way in the first place. Because I like... No, I'm not going to say. I think I was going to say that I like Danganronpa because I want to have trials that's going to leave me more confused than actually solving it. Because solving the murders, like just off the bat, like, oh, I know who did this, the most sus person here, it's just not fun. Come on, I played V3 and I was like, yeah, chapter 3, I know it was free. I knew it was going to be correct, you know. Who else would have been? No one has no other motive to resurrect the dead with the freaking Necronomicon Chronorium beyond Kaede bringing back, you know, Rentaro. I mean, not Kaede, Suichi bringing back Kaede and Rentaro. Or Karumi. Or Ryoma. There's a lot of people to bring back, like, honestly, the only person you should bring back will probably be Kaede. But I know that I'll probably get a lot of people back in the game of like, I can finally play a female me. No one gives a fuck. You already spent the $60. Keep playing Danganronpa. I didn't come to pick out who's my main protagonist. You want to play a female? Go play any other fan game or Ultra Despair Girls, because people sure act like playing a female is going to change the game up a lot, even though it's just like I'm solving people getting killed and why they killed them. I didn't ask to play a gender. They asked to play game. Oh, don't expect me to make that video, but expect me to make that video about why I think branding my thing about this shit is stupid. I'm gonna make that and turn that into a shit story and watch me get flooded out of the comments calling me a bastard. Anyway, I'm done making this video. I hope that my introspection to some degree and thought process will be coherent enough for you to watch. Yeah, I'm not gonna make any of these anyway, but anyway. Au revoir.